It's becoming one of the most contentious Riverside County sheriff's races in years. The incumbent is Sheriff Stan Sniff, but his opponents say all is not well in the department he's led for 11 years.
He's done nothing to cut costs other than allow the morale of our department to hit such all-time lows that everybody leaves.
Chad BIANCO is a lieutenant in the department. He says the rank and file aren't happy, partly because of how they're deployed.
I mean, you send a deputy out to handle a call because tree branches are falling into a neighbor, and then somebody gets assaulted, and that deputy's now not able to respond.
BIANCO says consequently, a lot of deputies are fleeing the department for other jobs, something another Sniff opponent agrees with.
I recently decided to run for Riverside County Sheriff after watching the incumbent sheriff, Stan Sniff, politicize the office and severely compromise public safety in Riverside County.
Dave Brown is also no stranger to law enforcement. He was the chief at the Hemet Police Department until retiring last year. He also says the sheriff isn't using his deputies effectively, accusing him of using decades-old deployment tactics and not implementing common sense strategies.
Things like deploying your resources during the times of day when there are more calls for service.
And they don't do that right now?
They don't do that. They have static staffing across the board.
Is that true?
That's false. We've always been demand-based.
And Sheriff Sniff disagrees with his opponents when they say some low-priority calls should be handled by staff members other than a sworn deputy.
When the public calls and wants a cop, they want somebody that's going to get there with a gun.
He admits he needs more boots on the ground, but claims violent crime is down 10% in Riverside County despite a lack of funding.
Over the last 3 years, all the public safety departments, including the sheriff, have been hammered with pretty deep budget cuts.
But BIANCO accuses the sheriff of waste.
We're told the same thing every year. Spend all that you have or you're not going to get it next year.
Yes, things have gotten particularly testy between Sniff and BIANCO. You see, BIANCO, who remember, reports to the sheriff, also ran against him 4 years ago. But the day after he lost, BIANCO says he was reassigned to this small room as punishment.
I got stripped of all my responsibility, all my supervisory duties. I was there to ensure that I would not run again.
Lieutenant BIANCO likes to play the perpetual victim on many different things.
Sheriff Sniff doesn't deny that BIANCO was reassigned, but says he was due for that reassignment anyway.
I appreciate that employees want to go where they want to go, but they need to go where we need them to work.
And that, according to Dave Brown, is another thing causing the mood in the department to plummet.
The morale within the organization and the esprit de corps and the reputation in the county of the organization has soured.
And there's someone else talking about morale, the fourth candidate in this race and another employee in the department, Deputy Miguel Garcia. He hasn't gotten back to us on our recent request for an interview, but he says on his website, due to the lack of supportive leadership, budgeting constraints, and minimal staffing, morale has hit an all-time low.
I think the morale thing is normal political nonsense that comes out of election time. When you don't have anything else to run on, then you talk about morale.
If no one gets more than 50% of the vote, the top 2 vote getters will face off in November.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Click the ABC7 logo to subscribe to our Eyewitness News YouTube channel.